parents. This is David Smith, principal at Summit Trails Online High School. This is the September School Council virtual meeting, we'll say. So what happens for these type of meetings? Well, I send a video about once every 2 months, and I really drill into some of the things that we're doing as a school. There might be a trustee report that comes with that as well. And then there'll be always an opportunity for you to give me your feedback on either what you've watched or things that you're wondering about our school. And there's a link that will happen right at the end or below this video that you can click on. Okay, I want to try to keep these videos to 5-10 minutes long, so I'm going to speak quickly. There are a couple of things that we're excited about that I want to share with you. The more you know about our school, the more you understand how we run things. And so what we are developing and putting into action by the end of this month is our yearly school education plan. And so we've been working on that. Well, actually, this is the second year in the making. But in terms of new goals for this year, that's something that we start late last year. We evaluate the goals of the things that we were working on last year, and then we move forward on that next step. So today I want to share with you some of the results of our surveys. We use multiple surveys to collect data. I want to talk to you today about the Our School survey, some really incredible things there, and that is the highest response survey that we have from our students. So we want to make sure that we're using that information. Okay, let's jump into it. What are students saying that's going well for them, specifically at Summit Trails? Well, predominantly, these are the big areas. One, they're telling us that their distractions are feeling more minimized, and so they're able to focus more, and yet at the same time, they're still working on focus. But that was great that they mentioned that. And these are unsolicited things, and so they were telling us things that are going well. The other thing is their mindset. They literally put in there some of the responses, healthy mindset, which is great for me to hear as we're working on those wellness aspects. They're seeing that their effort is increasing and that they are giving some of the best effort that they can. So they felt like that is going well. They feel safe at the school, which is fantastic. And they're also noticing how the teachers and the students respect one another, how the school in general has a high level of respect for its community members. It's fantastic. What are some things that we can work on? They isolated some things with the courses themselves. They're still looking for more harmony between one teacher to the next and how the course is put together. Sometimes the complexity of handing in or doing assignments. And I think that's great. And those things are coming back, and we're continuing wanting to work on those things. They're also looking for more courses, more offerings, which that is, as you know, staff dependent. So, but I'm hoping at some point we can offer those things as well. Parents, what did you say? So, parents, we got some really great feedback from you, and we sure appreciate it. Generally speaking, parents reported that their child feels happier in school, which is awesome. They really appreciate the clarity of how the school operates and those processes, which is so important for an online school to have. They talked about how teachers show that they care routinely. In fact, one of my grade 12 students mentioned to me that sometimes the teachers care too much, which we had a good laugh over. But that's the idea. Numerous parents said they appreciated the graduation experience. Online gave their child a more complete learning experience for them, which was great. And there's just general good support overall. So thank you, parents, for that. Some of the things that you mentioned to me that we could be working on is a different type of harmony, and that is our communication side of things. For instance, on our website, still difficult to manage in terms of finding things, which we're working on, and also just making sure that all our courses are up to date technology-wise in terms of links and navigation, just the nuts and bolts of the experience, which I really appreciate. Thank you, parents. These next things I want to share with you are the results from our students doing surveys, 10, 11, and 12, and some things that came back. I'm not going to show you all the results because there's too many, but I want to highlight a couple that are in the school education document. Goal orientation. You can see here that our grade 10s and 11s feel like they're coming to online school and they've got a goal and they know what they're after. And you can see that this is above the Canadian norm. So that's really great. The grade 12s, which is actually our highest population and our highest population that comes in 1 year, okay, they are lower. So that's something that we can be working on, is helping our grade 12s know what's next in their life and feeling like they're working towards something. Self-regulation. So this is a big piece because many of our students, especially coming in grade 10, they struggle with self-regulation. And this is, of course, not uncommon. In fact, this is very common in just adolescence. So that being said, you can see that the grade 10s that are coming in at our school struggle more with self-regulation than the national average, which is the green there. And you can see that all the way up. And so that is something that we want to be able to support and help students with. And that's where some of our wellness sessions come from. Those that have IPPs, that's where they're working hand in hand with the learning support teacher and educational assistants. And you can see from grade 10 to grade 11 that there's a jump there. So that means we're doing the job, as it were, and helping them self-regulate a little bit more. And then as maturity kicks in, grade 12, a little bit more. But we've still got a long way to go. But I really appreciated the honesty in that question from our students. Our teacher and student relationships, fantastic. I mean, we try, not just try, we really authentically mean to connect with students and try to know them the best that we can. And so I'm really pleased to see that students are feeling the same way. And so we are above the national average in all those. Positive learning environment, very similar to the comments that the students gave to us in terms of respect. And so they feel like this area, this school, we are positive. We not just positive like everything's going to be fine, but from a standpoint of come as you are. We're trying to withhold judgment. We really want students to do the best they can, get their diploma, or we can support them in their next stage of life. And that's what we really care about. And so to do that, we need to develop some relationships, and we just need to help them pick up where they are and keep on going. Students planning to finish high school. Again, really great results here. So they are coming in, even though the grade 10s have some low goals, you can still see that one of their goals is they do want to finish high school. So that's fantastic. Our grade 11's a bit of a dip there. And in fact, many of our data points have a dip in grade 11 around this area of efficacy. And so that's something that we can be supporting them on, not just in goal orientation, but thinking about where do they want to go in their future and how can we help them get there? Okay, this next one, the question was asked of them, has online been successful for you? That's important for us to know, because if many of our students are saying no, it's not making a difference for them, then we're doing something wrong. I want you to notice number 4 and number 5. The scale read this way, that number 4 is extremely impactful, okay, being on online, and 5 would not have been successful without it. And I want you to notice some of these results. 29% of our students said they would not be successful without this program. This is the power of online. This is also the power of a community that is pulling students in and giving them options in school. In number 4, 22%, extremely impactful. That's fantastic. It's really making a difference for their lives. And of course, we still have, 1, which says basically not making much difference. And so we've got about 1% of our community where it's not reaching. And that is not uncommon as well. In fact, a number 2 is somewhat impactful. And so 17% of our students are still looking to say, is this the right place for me? Is this the right medium? Should I be heading back into in-person school? And that's great. That's fine. We want students to be in the best possible place for their learning. So that's great. Thank you, students. So those are some of the Our School results I wanted to share with you. So I want to run through some of the goals that we're working on this year that we're going to be continuing on from last year. Our literacy goal, which has been updated, our goal is to cultivate student proficiency in reading, writing, comprehension, and numeracy to increase academic success and personal growth. This is not just a statement. We are looking at ways on how online we can create a community that cultivates reading, cultivates high communication. We know that as students read, their vocabulary increases, their communication has the ability to increase along with their fluency, which also bends into numeracy when we look at the communication side of things. We are looking at some very specific strategies that we're excited about. It's around adding various levels of book reading within courses, which typically you don't do on online. The choices on online usually are limited. And now teachers are asking the question, how can I change this to ignite some love of reading and love of learning in this way in a high school student? And so that is their goal. So they are meeting with some learning specialists throughout the year, and they are quite excited about this. And I think you're going to see some neat things coming up in the future. More information on this you can read in the SEP. Future ready students. Our goal is to provide a solid foundation for students for their future. And this goal, specific to our school, is to provide students with opportunities to develop a future-focused mindset through practical experiences and research, connection, and active engagement. You'll notice that our Connect classes have changed throughout the year so that they're bending into the understanding of vocation, job search, understanding oneself to start developing a focus on where they might want to go in their life. Our COM classes have also been re-envisioned. We use something called My Blueprint, and we are leaning more into that program because it's really great at personal surveys, personality tests, things of that nature, to give ideas to students about what they might be well suited for. So we're trying to give opportunities for students to think about their future, because we have seen that when a student starts having an idea of what they want to do in their next step, they're only with us for 3 years. And for many of our students, like our grade 12 students that just come to us, they're here for 1 year. If we can ignite that future goal for them, it will help motivate them through completion of their courses, because it is difficult. And there is some things unique to online that is tough for students. So that's what those teachers are working on, and these are all committees. The last committee is on resiliency. How can we support students in developing resilience, both within the school environment and in their broader life experiences, through the resources and guidance provided by the school? If you don't know this already, we have wellness sessions that occur every month. We have high attendance of those sessions, and then that culminates in a wellness summit where we have broader topics that students can engage on. All these topics are leaning into building a resiliency in one's life. But further to that, teachers are taking time to get professional development through neuroscience, trauma-informed teaching, and more, so that we can be better equipped to help students in terms of how we communicate with them. We know that our actions, our voice, even the tone of an email can affect the receiver. And so how are we being sensitive to those things? And how are we helping students know themselves as well to ride through the ups and downs of life? And when it comes to the school experience, it's already built in. The courses are tough. As you go higher and higher, when you're getting into these 20 and 30 level courses, they are difficult. Students are going to feel at times like they're a failure. They're going to feel like this is really tough. They're frustrated. And how do they push through that? How does the grit in their lives start coming forward so that when they get through it, that next piece can be transferred into their personal life? So these are some really big rocks that we are trying to help move. And this isn't just for students. The learning that we're doing is also for adults. And so parents, you're going to be receiving some things through the newsletter, possibly even opportunity to hear some really great people speak on topics like this so that we can support our students well. Okay, I spoke very quickly, but I think you get a sense of where we're headed. Please send me any of your comments. That'd be fantastic. Have a great startup, and we're just a phone call away. Students, parents, thanks so much for watching.